Hello everyone and welcome to Power Rangers Stories. Here I bring you the untold and what could have been stories. So sit back, relax and get ready to listen to some more phenomenal adventures. Also don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell to get notifications on the latest videos. And may the power protect you. Ninja Storm, the Pink Ninja Ranger. Chapter 29, A Gem of a Day. Landing on his back, Andy stared at the sky in a daze. He looked over at the feet that appeared by his head and frowned. "I'm not moving. You've killed me enough today." Laughing, Zoey sat beside him and patted his shoulder. "You're the one who requested I spar with you." She grinned down at him, something about how Reina is no longer a challenge, and you need to up your game. "Throwing my words back at me." He narrowed his eyes. "That's just low. Even for you. And it's not a diss against my best friend. We're just too evenly matched." Jenna sat on his other side. "Well, you're doing pretty good. So good, in fact, that I have a suggestion. If you're up for it." Seeing the look the girls exchanged made him nervous. Sitting up, he moved back to look at them. "Why do I feel like I should be really scared right now?" Zoey grinned and pointed to Jenna. "It's her show. I'll let her tell you." "Well, Zoey mentioned it in passing, and I've been thinking about it for a while." Pausing, she quirked a brow at him. "How would you feel about training at the Paizuk Academy?" "What?" Astonished, he just stared at them. "Well, you'd have to wait until we defeat Lothar," Zoey pointed out, "but I think you have the potential." "What about Reina?" he asked, not wanting to leave out his best friend. "I talked to her this morning. She's not interested." Jenna rolled her eyes. "She's happy with her lightning training. Doesn't want to add more weirdness to her list of skills. Plus, her dream is to become a chef, despite her mother's objections." Laughing, Andy nodded in acknowledgement. "That sounds like her. She'd be lucky if her mom doesn't drive her crazy before graduation next year. Besides, if she can finally get Dustin to ask her on a date, nothing is going to make her leave. The way they've been acting together lately, I wonder if he has already and they're just keeping it to themselves." They laughed, knowing it was probably true. "Anyways, she'll go back to Angel Grove to finish school, but it's not that far. And she can ninja streak to visit. He can too." Zoey laid back to look at the sky. They had decided to visit her brother in Reefside and spent the morning sparring in the backyard. Jenna smirked, not to mention her love of ticking off her mom and working at 8-Man's next year. "She's always wanted to be a part of that place." He paused, "but I think it helps that she has the same love of food as her brother." Taking a breath, he too laid down. "I don't want to miss my senior year. I can't do more homeschooling." Joining them on the ground, Jenna sighed. "What if you don't have to? What if you did your senior year at Reefside? You can go to school where Tommy will be teaching next year. Zoey and I will be teacher assistants to help with our college credits, and we can jumpstart your training. I may not be a master yet, but I'm an advanced senior student. And Jenna just got her stripes. We have Master Mao's permission to train you." The fire ninja propped herself up on her elbow and petted Kit, who came over to say hello. "You can go to a real school and homeschool your training with us on your off time. Tommy can work it out with your parents. Make something up, I'm sure. He's gotten pretty good at that. And after you graduate, you can continue your training at the academy. What about college? Master Mao is willing to let you have a laptop in your dorm room if you want to take some online classes. But it can't leave your room." "You don't have to decide now," Jenna injected. "We just wanted to throw it out there and see what you thought. And, unlike the other students, you don't have to live at the academy full-time. He's willing to treat your training like he did ours. You'll stay on the weekends and go to school during the week." "Well, I'm definitely interested," he said, grinning. "It'll give me something else in common with Adam, since he has his own animal spirit. Everyone has one, but few ever learn to call on them." Zoe handed the fox over to be coddled. Here. I think she has a crush on you. I don't mind. She's beautiful. He looked at the girls. Give me until we defeat Lothar. I'll have an answer ready for you. Sounds good. Jenna reached over to scratch Kit behind the ears. In the meantime, we'll enjoy kicking your butt. Before he could respond, their morphers went off. Go for Andy. Hey, you three, Shane responded on the other side. Cam says he found something and wants everyone back at Ops. We'll be right there. They stood up to take Kit inside when they saw Tommy on the porch. I'll take her. He held out his hands for the young fox and hugged his sister. Be careful. And may the power protect us. The three chorused at the same time, making the Ranger legend grin in response. They arrived at Ninja Ops to find everyone else gathered around the mainframe. So what's up, Cam? Tori asked curiously. You found Zergain's sword, she asked, glancing to Hunter, who nodded. Wait, what? Zoe said, looking shocked. The others turned and waved them over. I was tracing a radiation signature at the beach and found it. Afterwards, I located a satellite picture of the area. Cam hit play on his laptop, and they watched a video of Vexicus destroying Zergain. It's true, Rangers, Sensei said as he turned around to look at them. Vexicus has destroyed Zergain, he told them gravely. Not that I'm gonna miss Zergain, but why would Vexicus do that? Tori asked curiously. It appears a power struggle is at play in Lothar's lair, Sensei informed them with a frown. It's not like it would be the first time. Zoe said, looking at everyone, they're bad guys. They're always turning on each other. The first mutiny was when Lord Zed returned to Earth and Goldar abandoned Rita to stand and grovel beside his true master. Even after spending 10,000 years trapped in a prison with her and another year doing her bidding and calling her Empress. Jenna nodded. Isn't that a good thing? Dustin asked, looking away from the two girls. Maybe they'll keep fighting each other till no one is left. That is possible, Dustin, Sensei nodded, but I suspect Lothar has an even more sinister plot in mind. No offense. But it's not possible. History proves. Zoe said, nodding as everyone looked at her. It won't matter if Lothar himself is the only one left. Because Lothar will make sure he is the last one standing. No matter what. As long as he thinks he has a chance of beating us, Jenna agreed, he will make sure he is the last fight we have. I mean, think about it. We haven't just been fighting Lothar's army. It's a build-up to the final fight with Lothar himself. And believe me, when I say, there will be a final fight. There's always a final fight. The fire ninja whispered, looking down at her feet. After a moment of silence, Shane stepped forward. Okay. What do we do next? Shane asked, this can't be the final fight. Not yet. Doesn't feel like it. Maybe not. But, I believe that it is time to face the enemy proactively, Sensei told them. We must reinforce our ranks by rescuing all the captured ninjas, he decided. We must find a way to get onto Lothar's ship. That's not gonna be easy, Blake shook his head. Trust us. Lothar's ship is protected by a powerful energy field, Cam spoke, shaking his head. Without some way to break through, we'll never get in. Leave that to me. They all looked around at Hunter quickly, and he ran off before they could question him. Cam looked at Blake and Jenna. Any idea what he's up to? Not a clue. Blake said, arms crossed. He then looked at Jenna, who was looking at Zoe. Everyone looked between the girls, trying to figure out what was going on. Hello? Zoe looked up at Jenna and nodded. Taking that as consent, the Ice Ranger nodded back and, without saying anything to the others, left. Sensing the looks she was receiving, Zoe looked around and focused on Sensei and Cam. Let's just say, we know what he's doing. And I rather he explain it. With that said, she sat on the floor, put on her headphones, and started meditating. Not long after Hunter left, the mainframe beeped, alerting them to a problem. Huh? Cam looked at the screen confused. We got trouble. It's Hunter, Tori said, walking over with Raina and Jenna. And my favorite fish. Shane sighed. I thought you liked sushi. Dustin asked. Vexicus isn't a fish. He's a slimy shark that's long overdue for a gutting. Zoe grumbled. Forget the fish jokes, Blake said, check out Big Bird. Please don't talk about Big Bird like that. Raina glared, what did he do to you? This is weird. The radiation I was tracking earlier is back. Cam told them. We'd better get out there. Tori said, looking at the genius. They all nodded in agreement before getting in line. Ready? Ready. Ninja storm. Fire storm. Lightning storm. Thunderstorm. Samurai storm. Ranger form. Ha! They arrived at the quarry on the tsunami cycles with Cam riding behind Shane, who shot a blast from his cycle at the giant bird. They all rode up to Hunter, who stood up before they came to a stop next to him. Guys. Are you okay? Cam asked, jumping off the bike. Yeah. They looked over at Vexicus and the bird when Motodrone suddenly appeared with Kelzax. Miss me? He asked, laughing on his own cycle. This is my battle. Vexicus yelled. But Motodrone just ignored him and pointed to the Rangers' attack. He called out as the Kelzax did as ordered. Jenna stayed next to Hunter as Zoe teamed with Andy and Raina. She leapt over some Kelzax as she slashed down others with her glaive. She had to dodge as lightning shot near her. Hey! Lightning twins! Watch where you're aiming. Sorry, Zoe. They apologized together as they off more of the black and red freaks. They continued their three-person tag team on foot, taking out every Kelzac in their path. Hearing an explosion, they looked around to see a pillar of smoke coming from the edge of the quarry. Hunter? No. Zoe looked over as Blake and Jenna ran to check on the Crimson Ranger. Oh, no. Everyone regrouped next to Hunter to make sure he was okay and his destroyed glider and watch Vexicus confront Motodrone. I didn't ask for backup. The shark yelled. We will leave you this time, Motodrone stated, but beware, I'm watching you. The Rangers looked confused as Motodrone and the Kelzacs vanished from the fight. You head back to the ship. Vexicus told Condortron, I'll handle this alone. After he was the last villain standing, he turned to the Rangers, any last words? Yeah. Cam nodded, Super Samurai mode. I'm pulling the strings now. The villainous shark said, pointing his hands to the Rangers. He created ropes of energy and wrapped them around the Rangers, causing them to yell out in pain. Dance. He said, laughing as he lifted them into the air. My puppets. He repeated, slamming them into each other, creating sparks from their suits, before dropping them. What do you want? Cam demanded as he managed to get back to his feet. Vexicus grabbed him with more ropes, pulling the Green Ranger towards him. I'm just having some fun. He threw Cam over his head and slammed him to the ground. He then hauled him back to his feet, still laughing. Give him back. Shane demanded angrily as they got back to their feet. Sure, Vexicus tossed Cam out of the way. I'll take you all. He said, drawing his sword. The Rangers, getting into defensive positions, readied their own weapons. Ninja Shadow Battle. Shane cried out as they ran at the shark. It didn't take long before Vexicus was able to fight them all off and destroy the Shadow Battle. Navy Antlers. Blake yelled, catching Vexicus around the waist. The shark just laughed and grabbed Blake's arms. Hunter and Zoe ran up and shot him, Hunter with his blaster and Zoe with her bow. But the hit didn't even faze him, and his grip on Blake tightened. Let him go. Hunter yelled, and Vexicus threw Blake into him and Zoey, sending them all flying to the ground. Ready for a Vex Hex? He asked, disappearing before anyone realized what happened. As they got back to their feet, the ground started to shake, and a giant metal shark emerged from underground. Land shark attack! He yelled, sending them flying. Enough of this. Black lightning! Andy yelled, calling on his katana. Reyna nodded, and called on her own, white lightning. Full power. Electricity shot out and sent Vexicus flying back. Landing on his feet, the shark merely laughed at their attempt, nice try. He said, disappearing again. Where is he? Zoey demanded, holding up her bow. You didn't think I'd leave without saying goodbye? Vexicus reappeared, walking towards them. With or without the gem, I will defeat you. He vowed, before disappearing again. What gem? Tori asked, as everyone lowered their visors. What did he mean, Hunter? Everyone turned to Hunter, hoping for an explanation. He remained silent, staring at Zoey and Jenna, knowing they would provide support. After returning to Ninja Ops, everyone gathered around Hunter at the bookcase, waiting for him to start talking. He held up a small bag. The Gem of Souls, Hunter said. But I threw it into the ocean, Cam frowned, looking confused. Not all of it. Hunter opened the bag to reveal 2 pieces of the gem. You should have told me, Hunter, Blake growled, annoyed his brother had left him out. Tori frowned. You didn't know about this? She asked. And we're gonna have a long talk, aren't we, bro? I was going to tell you. Hunter insisted, but the more time that passed, the harder it got. I'm sorry, he sighed again. Blake frowned when Jenna walked over and hugged his brother. You knew? He sighed in frustration when she nodded. You told her, but not me? To be fair, Zoey walked over. I also knew about it. Seeing the Navy Ranger getting angry, she raised her hand, and before you blow a gasket, oh thunderous one, we came across him holding them at the beach. And we promised not to say anything. Don't, Blake, Hunter said, they were just keeping their promise. The fragments are probably the source radiation you were tracking, Andy said. It didn't have anything to do with Zergain's sword. He shook his head. He's getting so smart. Reyna grinned, pinching his cheeks, making everyone laugh. After Lothar shattered the gem, I hid these 2 pieces out there. Hunter spoke, breaking the silence. I'd go out there now and again to see if they could help me contact my parents, he admitted. I understand that sometimes your loss is difficult to accept, Sensei spoke up at last. But what's done, is done. You can never go back in time. Not without a scroll or something, Dustin spoke up, and Cam smiled very slightly. I know my parents are gone. But I still miss them, Hunter told them. And those students up on Lothar's ship, someone misses them too. But it's not too late for them. Let's bring them back. He handed the shards over to Cam, who nodded. Morphed, Cam walked towards the entrance to his Dragon Force vehicle, with his helmet under his arm. With the gem shards, I should have enough power to break through Lothar's energy field, he said. Once I've done that, you should be able to teleport onto the ship, Cam told them. We'll be standing by, Shane confirmed, everyone nodding in agreement. Be careful, Cam, Tori said, making Cam sigh with a smile. Why does everyone keep telling me that? He asked. We're Rangers, Zoey said quietly, causing everyone to look at her, and we're family. We care about each other. It's what we do. The Power Rangers, no matter what team they're on, are family. It's who we are. I thought you'd be used to it by now. Jenna grinned, making everyone smile. Cam saluted a thank you and walked through the doors of the Zord Bay. Good luck. Tori yelled. Zoey sat in Cam's chair to monitor his progress while the others gathered around to watch the takeoff. All systems clear, Cam. You're ready to launch. Dragon Force vehicle. Online. He replied, here we go. They watched as Cam flew out of the lake and blasted off to space. "That's awesome!" Dustin exclaimed, awed, as everyone cheered in excitement. They stared, watching the genius ascend into space. "So far so good," Cam commented, breaking the silence. "I should reach the ship in a matter of," he broke off when explosions sounded over the intercom. They watched as Lothor's ship started shooting laser beams at the Samurai Ranger. "Cam!" Shane yelled. "Cam, come in." "I'm hit, but I'm okay," Cam spoke up, and they breathed out. "My bigger problem is, if I don't get closer, I'll never be able to break through the energy field," he explained as he pushed forward, trying to avoid the laser fire. Suddenly, the computer began to beep and an image of Condortron popped up. "The big bird is back," Blake groaned. "We have to call the Zords," Shane decided. "We can't leave Cam out there," Hunter argued. "Cyber Cam and I will monitor my son. You must take the Zords, and face Condortron." Sensei looked at them, urging them on. "Come on, guys," Zoey nodded to Sensei. "Sensei's got this. We need to trust that Cam can handle himself. We have our own fight to take care of." Tori looked around. "Let's go. Let's do this." Shane yelled as the 4 Megazords appeared on the scene, facing off against Condortron. "Right with you, Shane." Zoey agreed. "Let's pluck his feathers," Andy yelled. They fired their weapons at the giant bird, but they did nothing to him. As he came back towards them, the Wind Rangers charged to attack, but they were thrown back. The freak bird grabbed the Thunder Zord, throwing it into the Lightning Zord and sending it flying back. He kept overpowering their Zords, over and over, again. He flew at them again, but the Wind and Thunder Zords grabbed him, trying to keep their grip. "We can beat this bird. Concentrate." They were able to throw the bird back just as Cam came in and blasted it. "Cam, you made it." Shane grinned. "About time." Jenna smirked. "Are you okay?" Zoey asked, concerned. "I'm good, guys. Thanks." Cam nodded. "Now, I heard that you needed some help." He hit Condortron again and moved over to the others. "It's Hurricane Megazord time," he called, and they dropped their discs into the system, calling on the Firebird. Hurricane Megazord. They created a huge tornado and was able to destroy the creature, once and for all. Landing hard on the ground, Andy looked over to see Raina laughing. "Not funny." "Oh, it so is." She was sitting next to Tommy on his back porch. "Hold Kit, you're the one who agreed to start Paizuk training. Get a head start. Figure out what your animal spirit is." She shook her head, "Glad it's not me. I could care less. I'll be heading back to Angel Grove when all of this is over. Rocky's already promised I could start working at 8-Man's when I get back. Gonna teach me everything. Can't wait." "How's your mom feel about that?" Tommy asked, knowing the issues between mother and daughter. I thought she was adamant about you majoring in hotel and house management because she wants you to follow in her footsteps. I don't want to be a housekeeper and run a cleaning service, nor do I want to be a kept housewife, despite what my mother wants. She was irritated that I stopped being her pretty princess, and now she's determined to ruin any college plans I have. Apparently, she's holding the tuition purse strings." She sighed. "Dad's working on it." Grumbling, the Black Ranger stood up, irritated. "How did I know it would be this hard to figure out what my spirit animal would be?" "It's not hard, Andy," Zoey patted him on the back. "You're just overthinking it. When Jenna and I first started at the ninja academies, we struggled because we couldn't let go of our training with our brothers. Then we struggled in Paizuk because we had trouble getting past our ninja training. But once we realized that that's exactly what we needed to do, it got easier. And I'm not referring to forgetting all of your past training. You need to let go of the obstacles. Quit thinking about it, and just let it happen. Speaking of Jenna, Tommy raised a hand. Where is she? I thought she wanted to help with this? She does. But, after everything that happened with Hunter and the Gem of Souls, I convinced her to stay with him. He needs her more than we do. At his nod, Zoe turned back to Andy with a grin. Let's go again. That's it for chapter 29 of Ninja Storm, the Pink Ninja Ranger. I'll be having a lot more of this series out soon, continuing the Pink Ranger story. Remember, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. As always, may the power protect you, and see you for the next adventure.